Today's video is a very special video. Today's video is an unboxing video. So a few days ago I took delivery of a package from the team, and it is a brand new pair of the Fizik Infinitos. We've got them here. So we're going to take a look at them today, check them out, and let you know my thoughts on them, because look, I've seen reviews of them, I've seen them online, but I've never actually seen them in real life, so let's have a look at them. Developed in collaboration with professional cyclists. That's not me. I want to make this very clear before we even start. This is not a paid endorsement. And these are very special shoes. Okay, let's get rid of that. Now, where to start? Well, I guess let's start with the top. Obviously I've gone for the white. White is the colour you have to go for every single pair of shoe you own. There's one thing I really do like about them, because I've had the 2017 version, the white version. I rode those pretty much all of this year. What I loved about them, there's not a lot going on the outside of the shoe. So any dirt, debris and stuff like that doesn't really get caught up into it. I mean, you've got these ventilation areas here. You know, you've got like this area here, but then that's pretty much it. So the ease of clean, like particularly for us, like it's really easy to clean. It's a perforated microtex, which is kind of like a synthetic leather, I guess. That's what the upper is made of, and it's very... Sorry, that's a weird thing to do. Fizik, like I love that bit there, that's brilliant. Let's just zoom this in a little bit. The shoe itself is really light, like really light. In fact, I'm gonna find a weighing scale. By the way, if you haven't already guessed yet, we're not at home. We're in Charlie's apartment in university in Cardiff. So this is her weighing scale. Thanks Charlie for letting me borrow it. Okay, that's 280 grams, 279 to be precise. 273. So like I said, like I've been using the 2017 model. You know, the only difference I'd say from what I've researched, what I've found, the only difference is the fit. Now this is really important for me. I think when somebody rides a bike like as much as I do, you really need to have a solid fit on your shoe. The way they've changed it is they've created this kind of dynamic arch support system, and each BOA dial, which is the device you use to actually tighten the shoe up, is doing a different job. The bottom dial, what you've got is something called volume control on the front area. So when you tighten up this dial, you're tightening up not just this whole area, but it's pulling across the front of your foot, holding your foot in a very snug position. What this one does is not only does it pull the tongue forward and down over the top of your foot, it's also making big gains in this thing called dynamic arch support. I haven't ridden them yet, but what I want to do in about 2 to 4 weeks time, after I've ridden them a bit, hopefully the weather won't be too bad, because obviously I don't want to be wearing white outside in this. I want to do like a down the line review. So how do they work out? How are they feeling a month later? The underside is made of carbon fiber, as you'd expect from many high performance shoes nowadays. That's just the way they go. Anyone remember Tour of Flanders? Philippe Gilbert obviously won it this year. He was wearing not this version, but the 2017 version of the R1. And he had like these amazing paint job on it. It had like the Belgian colour. I don't know if you can see those. Hold it there. So there's a vent port, there's a vent port, There's another vent port. It sounds something out of Star Wars there, a vent port. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so they let in like a big chunk of air. And there's also others here. There's one there, so it kind of flows through and out the other side. There's also one, there's like two down here as well. Like, it looks very kind of like Millennium Falcon-ish, doesn't it? We have Fizik's own insole. By the way, I love this. Fizik, if you're listening, this is one of the coolest looking insoles I've ever seen, I think. Red and black. And it just, just take a minute to look at that. An insole that can make or break a shoe, in my opinion. Now, like I said, I haven't ridden these shoes yet, but to me this insole looks like it's pretty well made. It's got a good arch support to it. It's good arch support, and the way it comes up, and so you can't really see it from there, but probably from there, the dip, the little bit of a U shape, especially at the back, it kind of cups your heel, holds it in place, it makes it a bit more comfortable. I'm gonna try it out, but here's a kind of here's something you may not know. There's loads and loads of pro riders nowadays who ride with custom insoles, so it's all very well and good having like an off-the-shelf shoe and an off-the-shelf insole, but it's very important for a professional athlete or even an amateur nowadays to have a very good fitting shoe. And if you buy a shoe and you think, oh, this doesn't actually feel very good at all, 9 times out of 10 it'll probably be the insole. Before you do jump the gun, like, try their own insoles. Like, there's more and more shoe companies nowadays who are making a variety and a range of insoles that suit different types of people, different foot shapes and different arches. I have a really high arch, so I don't have any problems with most shoes, but my custom insole, which I can show you on the vlog sometime, is quite interesting actually. It's got like a really pronounced area here, and that really holds my foot into place. And I tell you one thing, like when I ride like a flat insole compared to when I ride with my custom insole, there's a heck of a difference, like a massive difference. It almost feels like there's a big gap there. And they've also got little cool vents in this one too. A few more little things I want to point out before we end this kind of unboxing slash review of one, this tongue area. On the R1 from 2017, this was like some kind of rubber slug. Yeah, rubber slug. I have no idea how to describe it any other than it looked like a little bit of a slug on there. And what that was kind of if you had a thick sock on, or if you had any kind of like rubbing going on there, it would affect your performance. Like I had a few times where it was rubbing me and it was like, that hurts a little bit. So what they've done is they've kind of taken it away completely, and they've just put this very thin piece of material there. So the tongue is almost non-existent, as you can see. This used to be like quite chunky, like almost as thick as my thumb, like right there. The last thing I want to point out before we go is this. Inside here, in the actual heel, is like this spongy kind of, I don't know what to call it really. It's got little rubber grippers like on the inside there to stop your like foot from coming out a little bit, and that's just like a really great little last touch to the shoe, and I love that. In fact, I love the whole shoe, and this is not a bias review at all. I mean, you know, I came from nothing. Like I didn't have shoes like this when I started cycling, and you know, this is where we've come to now. And you see people who wear these shoes nowadays, like the big pros, Tour Flanders, you know, Gilbert wearing them, Geraint Thomas wears them. They're a special shoe.